All right. But hello again, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Maria, and today we will focus on a topic of how to choose an ATS or applicant tracking system. Today's webinar consists of two parts. At first, I will share some ideas on how to make choosing an ATS easier for you, how to make the selection process more systematic and also save time. And then I will invite Triinu from Insli and Natalja from Eesti Energia to join me on the stage. They both have recently changed their ATS, so they will share their experience and also recommendations on how to survive this process. You can also ask your own questions from Triinu and Natalja. Just add the questions to the questions tab you see on the right. Before we start with today's topic, there's something I want to clarify. Up until last week, I introduced myself as one of the co-founders of Recruit Lab. But as you see today, I'm representing TeamDash. And the awesome reason behind it is that last Thursday, we announced our new brand and name. So Recruit Lab is now TeamDash. Why we changed the name and brand? We started with TeamDash or Recruit Lab back in 2020, and now 3.5 years later, we have a really awesome international client base. TeamDash has become the market leader in the Baltic region. Within the last years, we have added a lot of functionalities to make the lives of recruiters easier. For example, the latest additions include AI screening, candidate scorecards, recruitment analytics, and a lot of different integrations with job boards and different HR systems and tools. So now it was also a really good time to upgrade our visual identity and a name to match the feeling you get when you actually use the product. So you can learn more about the rebranding story and all the reasons behind it from our brand new webpage. Just visit teamdash.com and you will get all the details. But Recruit Lab was and TeamDash will continue to be an easy-to-use platform for applicant tracking, video interviewing, and recruitment marketing. TeamDash is the most customizable recruitment software on the market, known for its excellent customer support. It's a plug-and-play solution designed to make recruiters happy. So as most of you are in the middle of choosing an ATS right now, I recommend booking a demo with our awesome colleagues to learn more about TeamDash and its opportunities. I will share the link to the chat as well. So book a demo with us, and we are happy to show you how you can improve the hiring experience for all the stakeholders. So yeah, this is it. This is it about our new brand and name. Let's move on to today's topic: how to choose an ATS. First, maybe why we decided to host a webinar on a topic like this. It's not as sexy as employer branding or recruitment marketing, maybe. But within the last years, we have often heard that choosing an ATS is more complicated and more time-consuming, as recruiters expected it to be. So here are some ideas on how to make it less time-consuming, how to make it easier, and how to create structure for you and your team to manage this process and actually really find the suitable software for you. So how to start? Before before you start attending different product demos and asking questions from different software providers, I would recommend to ask from yourself and from your team first, like, why do you need an ATS or recruitment software? Why it's important? Because you have to know your main recruitment challenges. It might be that the main issue you want to solve right now is related to candidate attraction, or maybe related to GDPR, sourcing, or any other challenges in the recruitment field. But based on your challenges, you can actually list the core requirements. And this will help you set focus and also save time. And what's most important, if you have an overview of your own challenges and why you would like to use a new ATS, then you will definitely be in charge of the process, not the software providers you were gonna meet during the process. So this is my first recommendation, to start with why, do this exercise within your team, and create a list of core requirements. Then the next step, you definitely need a short list of software providers. It's safe to say that there are thousands of providers on the market, and creating a short list might seem difficult at first, but I would recommend combining those or these three methods. First one, really easy, ask from the community. Usually recruiters are really open to share their experience with different tools. Ask for recommendations from recruiters who have similar recruitment challenges like you, because there's no point to ask for a recommendation for a recruiter who is mainly, let's say, sourcing. But when you are doing or working with, let's say, high volume roles, then the requirements for the recruitment software are totally different. Usually there are quite active recruiters communities in different countries. Also, LinkedIn is a good place to ask for help. The second step, of course, is to check the web pages of the software providers you have heard about, or some of your colleagues have maybe recommended those specific ones. What to look on the web pages? Usually the pricing page has a list of features. So this is a really good place where to get like the first overview of features and opportunities, and also customer case studies and testimonials to get the overview, like what kind of customers this specific provider has, from which industries, how big are the companies, for which positions they're mainly hiring, etc. And then a good way to compare products is also using software comparison sites like Aptera, Software Advice, or GetUp. And there are many more of those sites. Because there's no point of meeting 20 different software providers. The goal is to create a short list of and meet with 2 or 3, maybe maximum 5 providers. So on Capterra, what you can do, just for your information, usually most of the bigger players are listed on those comparison sites. And on Capterra, what you can do, for example, you can create your own comparisons. So here I've compared TeamDash with Recruitee and TeamTailor. And you see, based on the reviews they have collected, or all the software providers have collected from their users, you see the overall rating and also the rating in different categories, such as ease of use, customer service, features, and value for money. And also you see the likelihood to recommend. So you see that TeamDash has the highest rating, and also we are really happy that our customers are willing to recommend us to other recruiters and HR managers. You will also see on the Capterra the pros and cons of each software. So it's a really good site to get an overview and learn more about those different products, and also learn more about what's the difference between those products. So yeah, using Capterra, this will help you create the shortlist, also ask for recommendations, and visit those web pages. And now if you wonder whether TeamDash should be in your shortlist, and of course I say that yes, we should be in your shortlist. But if you want to be sure, then those are the teams or organizations that we usually are suited for. So for example, teams with more than one full-time recruiter, or organizations with multiple ongoing recruitment projects, teams that are hiring for different roles, or teams that use multiple sources for recruitment. Also, I have listed different industries from which our customers are from. You see that we are serving a lot of industries. That's because, as I mentioned, TeamDash is really customizable. So companies from different industries are able to use our product and make it their own. So again, if you are in the middle of choosing an ATS, then we're happy to show you more what TeamDash is capable of. So book a demo, and you will definitely get interesting insights. But moving on, a question that often recruiters have: should they attend demos or explore by themselves and use this free trial option? My recommendation again is that definitely, if you have created a short list of, let's say, 3 or up to maximum 5 providers, then I definitely recommend having demos with them, because during the demos you have the opportunity to ask all the questions. You will also get an overview of the product roadmap, or what they have planned for the future. Also, how flexible they are in terms of adding new integrations or custom developments, and also how they offer support and onboarding. So, and why I recommend having those demos is that testing by yourself takes more time, and there's definitely a chance that you will miss some important details, and it's more difficult to compare the products without the demos. Also, during the demos, use again this list of core requirements that you created, again, to make sure that you actually get the value out of the demo. So it's not only the presentation that your software provider is doing, but you definitely have to get all the answers you need to make the decision. And also, it's a good practice to ask for a reference. So, for example, after the demo, you can ask contacts of 2 or 3 customers that are maybe similar to your company, or who have similar recruitment challenges. And one recommendation when you are choosing an ATS, definitely try to choose a partner, not just a tool, because ATS is something that you will use daily and something that will affect your results. It will even affect your job satisfaction. So definitely make sure that the new ATS provider can be like a strategic partner for you and your team. But how to create like your personal checklist, or how to create this list of core requirements that I mentioned before. I think there are some basic things you have to focus on. For example, how easy it is to use the product. Do you have to read some official manuals before you can start, or you can just sign up, create your profile, and start hiring? Also, I think customizability is pretty basic nowadays. Every recruitment process is different, so you have to be sure that you can create your own hiring pipelines with your own custom stages. Also you have to be sure that if you're measuring some kind of metrics with the help of your ATS, can you customize those measures, or can you customize the process? Like, how are you measuring those metrics? Also, integrations. We all use very different tools, whether it's for emails, Outlook, or for video interviewing, Zoom, Teams, or something else. So one of the basic criteria for choosing your ATS is to make sure whether you can integrate this ATS with different HR systems, job boards, or other tools, or with your current web page or career page, for example. And also security and GDPR compliance. So how is your data protected, and how is the data of your candidates protected? Moving on from the basics, everything related to user management and collaboration. We all know that recruitment is teamwork. So it's not only you as a recruiter, but you also need hiring managers. Sometimes you need extra help from recruitment agencies. So make sure that it's easy to add new users. Make sure that there are different user roles with different levels of rights and access, and how easy it is to actually collaborate with hiring managers and external recruitment partners. The next category I would definitely focus on is customer journey. How the onboarding is organized, how easy or difficult the implementation process is going to be. We have heard stories where companies struggle more than a year, and they still don't get any results with the implementation process. So make sure to ask information about that. Also, how the company is offering customer support and customer success. Satisfaction with customer support is one thing that TeamDash is focusing on. And we have heard a lot of good feedback regarding this. And on the contrary, we have heard a lot of feedback that many software providers are not focusing on focusing on customer support. So it's really difficult to get answers. It's difficult to ask information about new features or some updates. So make sure that you will get the best information how the company is offering customer support, whether it's only chat, email, or something else. For example, in our case, when it comes to onboarding, then as TeamDash is really easy to use, and we have cases where companies just sign up and they just start using, and the onboarding process is more or less 1 or 2 meetings with our customer success managers, and then they can independently manage their first recruitment project. But of course, when the companies are bigger, when there's more team members, more hiring managers involved, then the onboarding timeline is a bit longer. But usually within the first week or maximum within the first 2 weeks, you will get all the basic information at least to get started. And then we will support you during every recruitment project, actually, because we are doing regular check-ins with our customers to ask feedback from them and also inform them about our new features and new opportunities. But yeah, moving on from the customer journey category, then there's the biggest category about the features and about the opportunities that the software is providing. So it's difficult to create like a final checklist, but what I did, I added some main topics you should consider, and based on your main recruitment challenges, you can add more specific requirements. For example, the first topic, everything related to candidate attraction. So are there different recruitment marketing tools? Can you create career and landing pages? How easy it is to create them? Can you run social media campaigns and so on? Also, sourcing and talent pool, how easy it is to add sourced candidates to your pipeline, for example, or how easy it is to search from the database you have created over the years. Everything related to applicant tracking, candidate cards or candidate information, communication with candidates. Can you do it via email, text messages, or something else? Also, automations. This is something you have to focus on. A lot of software providers are offering different automations, but during the demos, make sure that you will get the overview of how easy or difficult it is to set up those automations. And are those automations also easily customizable? Then interviewing is definitely one big category. Scheduling, video interviews, also candidate scorecards, or the ratings you give during or after the videos. One important thing to focus on or think through is whether you have those video interviewing tools already built in to the ATS, or you have to integrate with separate tools. In our case, all the video tools are built in. We have the opportunity, or recruiters can do live video calls, also conduct those asynchronous video interviews. But if you don't want to use our own built-in tools, then you can also integrate with either Zoom or Microsoft Teams. A huge topic, also recruitment performance, everything related to recruitment metrics and benchmarking, and also reporting. What we have heard from recruiters is that they are more and more interested in collecting and analyzing the data, but many of the software providers are not offering this kind of opportunity to have all the data systemized on a dashboard. So again, make sure that during the demos you will get an overview of how the metrics are displayed, or how you can, for example, create reports. Do you have to do it manually every week or every month, or you can just give access to your hiring managers and they can take a look at the statistics every day if they want to. So those are the main categories I recommend to focus on. You can add your own more specific requirements based on your main recruitment challenges. But I promise you that if you start with the why, if you list your core requirements, if create a short list of the providers, then already the whole process of choosing an ATS will be more systematic, easier, and not so time-consuming. But yeah, let's find out how Triinu and Natalja managed the process. So I will invite them to the stage to join me.
Hi.
Hello, Triinu. Nice to see you.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for inviting.
So let's see whether, yes, Natalja is also here. Hello.
Hi, my side.
Hello. So thank you for joining us today. And as I promised to our participants, you will share some insights or your experience, as you both have recently changed the ATS. So you have gone through the process, and definitely you will have some recommendations to others as well. As we have participants from different countries, then maybe you can shortly introduce yourself and also the company you are representing today with just a couple of sentences. So Triinu, let's start with you.
Okay, sure. So hi, I'm Triinu. I have been in HR and recruitment for, well, over 10 years by now. Today I'm working in Insli, which is an insurtech SaaS provider. So we are building SaaS products for insurance companies, MGAs, underwriters across the globe. So we also have a lot of international recruitment. And yes, previously I have experience from working in the agency and also in fintech startup Monies.
Okay, thank you, Triinu. So I will continue. Hi from my side. Yes, Maria, many thanks for introducing and inviting me. So I'm Natalja from Eesti Energia Group. And right now in Estonia, we are one of the biggest company, and definitely we are a group of the companies. So day by day, we are offering our energy solutions in 5 different markets as well, in Balticums and in Polish market and a little bit in Finland also. So if we are talking about our recruitment challenges, so they are definitely international ones. And what is the most interesting aspect, we are the group company. So right now in our company we have about 44 different business companies also. It's some sort of different challenges for software if we are talking about recruitment expectations. And in HR, I'm mostly about 16 years in our group, I was involved in different HR processes, and right now I'm taking care about all the recruitment development challenges in Estonia and also in our markets.
Okay, really good. Thank you. Before we start or move on to your personal experience, maybe you can share with others why should a recruitment team use an ATS? We all can manage the recruitment also in Excel spreadsheets. Or what are the main reasons a team should use an ATS?
I think it's all about it's all about business. It's all about candidates. It's all about brand, company brand, mission, vision, who you are, what you would like to achieve and to get from your business. That's are the biggest answers if we're talking about recruitment, because business is every time only people. Those who are joining your company, who are leaving your company, and it is all about recruitment. We're not talking about definitely recruitments. We're talking about talent acquisitions. That's the point. And if you are talking about the practical side as well, so it's all about numbers. If we are talking about our expectations, every year we are managing about 300, a little bit more recruitment projects. We are talking about 2,000 different candidates profile over the world. Definitely it's not relevant to think about Excel.
I think that for me, the first point is actually to work as efficiently as possible because we are rather a small team. So we want to work as smart as possible and using all the automation possibilities there are. So definitely Excel couldn't do that for us. So that's one of the main reasons. Also GDPR, why we even decided never to go to start using Excels.
Do you have experience with other recruitment tools as well, or have you only worked with TeamDash?
So I have been working previously quite a long time with Workable and also with Lever. I also had a glimpse to TeamDash and DaVinci, but yes, my majority of experience is actually from Workable and Lever. And now for the past year, I believe, or almost a year, I have been using TeamDash. So I can already say and jump a bit ahead maybe that definitely TeamDash is my favorite until now. So definitely very, very happy to be the user.
I will come back with the question like why, but Natalja, do you have any experience with others?
Yes, in our Estonian group, we have a little bit different experience. And so we're talking about that point that we are a government company. That is why for a long time we used only one software. It was Selector. I'm not pretty sure that you heard about this software because it's really, really old. And it was one of the first softwares that came for a long time before into Estonia market, and we took into use it. And what is the biggest point of this ATS? It was about candidate documentation gathering. Only gathering, only posting, very simple activities was allowed. And what is the biggest issue that we felt that during using this software, the same that you mentioned, Maria, previously, it's not about technical tools only. It's about this software developments. It's about customer service as well. And it was a big challenge to develop this software. That is why we decided last year that we enough. We have to take into use something that will really support our business, really support our team, recruiter partners teams, as well as Triinu mentioned. It's about smart work. It's about positive candidate experience also. It's about digitalization as well. It's about international recruitment. That is why it was a more important decision why we decided to change.
Mm-hmm. But Triinu, coming back to your experience with different software providers, there's a question in the chat that what's the main difference between Workable and TeamDash? Or in general, like you had experience with different other providers. What were the main reason that you decided to start using TeamDash?
Mm-hmm. So in my experience, TeamDash is offering quite a lot of flexibility. So I'm able to compile the job descriptions or adverts, for example, as I need. So according to our brand, I'm able to automate a lot of activities and choose a different workflow for each recruitment. So definitely one of the key reasons was that I'm really able to set the process up as we need it. So it's not set in stone and everything seems to be always the same way or following the same workflows. So that's my experience. While I was shortlisting different ATS providers approximately a year ago, then one of the, maybe for me, a key aspect was also the communication and the customer support, the customer success team. So Recruit Lab has always been there for me. So I haven't, I'm using the tool as we go. So I was not, I didn't set it as an expectation that I will have everything ready and then we will start. So I just started, and the team has always been there to support me though. So when it comes to Workable or Lever, then their support is in the States. So it was always very time consuming to get answers or even to customize something according to our requirements or needs. So TeamDash has just been very flexible to that regards.
Mm-hmm. Natalja, your team has used TeamDash also around 1 year. What have been the main benefits you have seen?
Automatization, our opportunity to set up the same flows, activities as we would like to do it, because we're talking that our team is over Estonia, all Estonia, from Narva to Tallinn, from Pärnu to Saaremaa. We're talking about that our team members also in Latvia, Lithuania, Polish, they are using their own native needs or some solutions to support local recruitments. So flexibility, that was the point, the biggest point that we from the first day felt and got from TeamDash as well. Possibility to set up reminders. So if we are talking about headhunting or sourcing, definitely very necessary not to hold all the necessary information somewhere else in Excel or somewhere else in other apps. So TeamDash allow to set up necessary reminders to be in touch every time, everywhere with the best candidates. That was the biggest surprise for us also, and very friendly customer service and very friendly use experience, not only for recruiters, also for managers. All company pretty quickly get in touch with this software and got us feedback that it's pretty simple, pretty easy, understandable, and flexible.
That's good to hear. But Triinu, coming back to your process of, or how you choose the ATS, how did the process look like? You mentioned that you also had the shortlist, but did you ask for recommendations from others, or how did you come up with the shortlist?
I started also by mapping out our needs. So that was still the first thing to do. So I actually got a list of topics that I needed to cover during demos or free trials. And well, I used actually just Google to shortlist the different companies. Well, in recruitment communities, there has been talks about different providers quite a lot. So I already had some kind of pre-knowledge. And as I went through the same process in my previous company as well, when we were changing the tool. So I already kind of knew what I was to expect. So that was definitely easier this time for me. But at the same time, it was still totally different because previously we had a bigger team. We had a team of international recruiters. Today, our team is rather small. So the process in that regard was different, as the requirements were different for Inslee. And I had calls and demos with different providers. I also evaluated how they communicated with me, how quick they were, what kind of flexibility they were able to provide, of course, and how did it also look like for hiring managers. Because in some cases, it can be hard to engage hiring managers to the ATS. So that was definitely also important for me, that they feel that it is easy to use. They do not need to go through some kind of video tutorials or something like that to get started. So it was easy to grasp and continue. So and then we basically made the decision. So we felt that the Recruit Lab at that point today, TeamDash, was the right decision for us. And well, we are still happy with that decision.
Thank you. But how many, do you remember how many demos you attended?
I think that we did the short list. We listed the pros and cons that we were able to find just by Googling. And then we selected 5 companies that we would like to continue. And then we had demos and free trials with 5 different providers. And then I think that we selected 2 of them, still had further conversations, we're still trying things out, and then made the final call.
Mm-hmm. Natalja, I know your process was different because
Absolutely, yes.
Group company, but maybe you can share some details, like how did you manage the process?
You see, even if you are a government company, if you are a very big company and you have to manage some processes, I'm talking about procurement and other needs, definitely even in those points, smart solutions as, for example, TeamDash right now are very, very useful to involve, useful to be in touch, to talk a little bit and to get overview. What we did, we have 2 different cases. The first was the classical one, traditional, when we only described our own needs as we felt those needs, how we would like to solve them, and make some procurement documentations. And this step was very unsuccessful for us. We did not get nothing at all from the market if we're talking about recruitment softwares. The second try was very, very successful for us. What we did the same as you advised previously, Maria. We involved different companies. We described our needs. We did some conversation about possibilities. We even did not did not know that right now in market we have lots of smart solutions for recruitment activities, and after that we created necessary documentation to start with procurement, and this case, second case, was definitely very successful. The first point was that we already knew who will be involved in this process. The second case, the second point was a very transparent conversation about our own company needs and about future needs as well. And as a result, we got TeamDash. We are really happy about that, because it was transparent, it was very honest process also. And the demo that TeamDash offered for us introduce potential of whole software, listened to our needs, special needs for our company that suits our company, dependent of a recruitment segment as well. And after that was every time in touch with the necessary additional discussions. If we, for example, talked about different brands, different companies, and so on and so on. That was the biggest point. How it went, how it was managed, and how we make the final decision. Yes, at the final stage we got two choices, and the best one was TeamDash ones.
Triinu already mentioned the fact that the ATS should also be easy to use for hiring managers.
Yes.
And in your case, in Eesti Energia's case, we see that you have a lot of hiring managers, and somehow you have managed to engage them all. So do you have any recommendations to bigger companies when you start using a new ATS, like how to inform your hiring managers?
Well, I can share with you some fun facts about our hiring managers. So in our group, we have about 700 different managers in all our units, market, and so on. And what happened with us? We took into use TeamDash. We started to use it. We be very involved with those activities, and we at all did not communicate for our managers what does TeamDash means for them. We did not share the supportive documentation. Usually our managers are using some supportive documentation or some materials as well to understand how it's going to be used, or how to do something in some solutions. And in this case, we didn't do those activities, usual activities. And what was amazing, really surprising for us, that we involved managers into activities. We sent some kind of information that we're starting to recruit somebody somewhere, and the first feedbacks were got very quickly from different markets. Oh, quite easy and simple to use it. Oh, quite amazing to assess candidates with different comments or different smiles, icons, and so on. Or quite simple to share your thoughts with a special, for example, a person. If you are tagging somebody, so you can do it directly in TeamDash with the support of your emails. It was so easy for our managers. So right now in Eesti Energia, we are not using manuals for managers at all, because it's very friendly and very simple. That was our fun facts, our case. We didn't imagine that it will be really in that way. We prepared documentation, definitely, but we did not send it.
Okay. That's really good to hear, because I know that a lot of recruiters are struggling with hiring managers, like how to engage them, how to invite them, how to make sure that they will give feedback as soon as possible and so on. But
Now,
as I hear, it can be done.
it can be done, and in Eesti Energia, we believe in that recruiters, the main role and the biggest responsibility is on the managers, people managers, who are definitely looking for the necessary best candidate. And we are, as recruiters, we are on the secondary position. Our responsibility is to create solutions, to create some kind of flows, necessary flows. That's the point. That is why all our managers are involved. I think in TeamDash we right now do not have all of our managers pools yet, but definitely in the future it will be more bigger number volume of them.
Triinu, let's talk about the budget as well. Another problem recruiters often have is that they would like to use an ATS, but they don't have a budget for that. So do you have any recommendations to others, like how to get the budget, what kind of arguments to use with the management? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely. Having the budget is also very, very important. I must confess that I was not very much struggling with that topic because, if you compare the value and what you are getting in return, then I think that we are able to save at least one recruiter's job just with using TeamDash, potentially even more. So I'm doing actively recruitments myself as well. So I'm very much hands-on and saving the time in using ATS. It's just so beneficial, and I do actually believe that TeamDash is offering a very reasonable cost solution. So I didn't have issues with that. I can see that it could be troubleful to start the conversations, but again, then just pointing out the facts that what kind of actions can be automated, who is actually doing the job manually, maybe at the moment, and also integrations with different other tools, or for example with LinkedIn, job boards, HR systems. So the benefit is just actually huge. Additionally, also the security point and being GDPR compliant, well, that is a very important topic for most of the departments. So that's something to point out as well.
Natalja, again, as Eesti Energia is really huge company, you have a lot of different recruiters, hiring managers. So how was the onboarding process? Or do you have any recommendations again for bigger companies, like how to make the whole process smooth as possible?
Well, from my side, from my opinion, it was very, very easy. We was very quickly in touch with our customer success manager, Triinu from TeamDash. It was amazing experience. She support us in every step. We created 3 times trainings, simple trainings. One more time, we are talking about very big company. We are talking that in recruitment area, we have about 20 different recruitment partners. That's the point why we started from trainings. I think if we are talking about other companies, perhaps it won't be very necessary. And after trainings, we are starting to use. That's the point.
So again, it's easy. As I mentioned earlier, we have recruiters who just sign up, create their profile, and they can start using. And as Triinu, you mentioned also that you actually don't have to prepare the profile or the account. You can just start, you can add and create those templates later. You can move on step by step. So I think this is a really good way how to get started. Otherwise, you spend too much time beforehand?
Yeah, I'm still learning as we go. So exploring TeamDash every day and finding new functionalities that we can use. And it's actually also very exciting because I know that there are many different additional ways that I could use the platform. So it also kind of keeps me engaged, that I want to go back and explore it more and make my work even more efficient. And I always find something that is very interesting, and I start exploring. So actually our recruitment process has changed quite a bit throughout the time that we have used TeamDash. So today we are definitely working smarter. We have automated also other things that we didn't do before, like all the invitations, all the interview schedulings, those are automated, and with the drag and drop method, that's just so easy and also time consuming, not that time consuming, and we are now even exploring more video interviews that we didn't do before, and asynchronic interviews. That's definitely a big hit. So saving all of us a lot of time, and just exciting to explore.
We have a couple of minutes left, so let's wrap up this webinar with maybe final recommendations, or if you look back on your process around a year ago, would you do something differently, or would you recommend others to do some specific steps in the process to make it more efficient or more successful?
So I think that I would have started using the tool even earlier, but we were tied by the contract with the previous service provider. So if you are using an ATS right away, then the first step could be to explore what does the current contract say, so you don't miss any deadlines, and then you can find yourself stuck for a very unfortunate case for another year, for example. But if this happens, then what kind of happened to me, so I needed to wait half a year at least. So I used that time to explore the market, gather information, start the conversation already beforehand, so I didn't need to hurry. And I think that the end of the day, although I expected to make a quicker change, then end of the day, it gave me enough time to prepare, and also the communication throughout the process with the TeamDash's customer success team, that was a very encouraging, and it wasn't as bad as one may think to move from one platform to another.
Natalja, do you have?
On my side, the only advice for all participants, let's start from demo. Softly advise to invite the TeamDash presenters to share overview about the ATS possibility and about collaboration, of course. And after that, you will get the first imagination about the opportunities. So after this step, you can start to analyze your why you would like to, for example, change. Are you right now really satisfied that you have right now? Perhaps you are using, as we used for a long time, selector, and even don't know what kind of possibilities right now on the market. That's the point that I kindly sought not to prolong for the longest perspective, but to start from today's or from tomorrow. Unfortunately, in Eesti Energia, we lost a little bit time before we get in touch with TeamDash. That's the point.
Thank you, Triinu and Natalja, for your recommendations and also sharing your experience. I know that our participants really appreciate this kind of sharings. So we will wrap up with today's webinar. Thank you for joining us. And also keep an eye on our LinkedIn page, because soon we will announce our next webinar and next guest speakers. And yes, book a demo with us if you want to learn more about TeamDash, and we are more than happy to show you all the possibilities. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you too.
Bye.
Bye.